Hey everybody, QG here. We have another new box art leak upon us on Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. It's from the same person who shared this one originally, Square-Headed, I think, on Twitter. As you can see, we have what looks to be a lot more of an official box art this time. Much more in line with the art style we've seen of previous Nickelodeon All Star Brawl stuff, as well as Super Brawl Universe, assuming that's connected in any way internally. But yeah, let's go ahead and go over this. So we have PS4 mockup. Hard to tell if just like this picture was pasted into a template like this, or if this is an actual mockup or not. But I suppose it's not really a big deal either way. Prominently up at the top, we've got SpongeBob. We have Garfield, followed by Cora and Danny, and then in the bottom half, we've got Raphael again. We have Patrick, and we have Jenny Wakeman. That's it for characters we can see. Kevin here was added by the leaker, I assume, as well as the Monster Energy drink pick. Potentially the watermark as well, to ensure that they're not, getting caught, I suppose, even though they're probably gonna anyways. But, of course, we also have other silhouettes to potentially look at here. So let's go ahead and give a quick recap on all the leaks we've gotten for Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 so far. So first up, we have this Squidward one from years ago now, or a year and a half-ish ago. We have this Patrick one, which was around the same time as the Squidward one. I don't remember if it was from the same source, but it was definitely from the same time frame. We have this Danny one, which shows Danny from like a sideways angle, presumably to show what his new appearance will look like, to show that they're doing a similar thing to how they did with Jenny in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 1, where they're cheating the camera to make him look a lot better than he did the first time around. Of course, we have this one from Square-Headed as well, which was around the same time as this, which shows Danny's new look, as well as this other box art that we had originally. And as you can tell, the logo is like the exact same, so there's no concern for I suppose there's like a line that got removed here, unless that's just part of the mock-up that was chopped up. It's possible that's what that was. And then we also got the LT Gray leak a little while ago, which again looks very legit. All these leaks, the reason I bring these up is every single one of these leaks looks like very legit and from the same place, which means I can only assume that they're all, like unified, like from the same thing. And this is no different, because we got another leak a little bit after this one, within the same day, in fact, on Reddit this time from an anonymous source, and it was this, which shows SpongeBob in presumably a new taunt or idle animation referencing the one episode where he goes off into the forest to live on his own or something like that. Then we have another one here showing SpongeBob wave dashing, except it's not SpongeBob, it's his Camp Coral version. It's hard to tell if it's like a different model altogether. It's kind of a grainy picture, but I want to assume it's not a different character. It could be. It's possible, but I have a feeling it's not. Regardless, though, it is interesting that in its wave dashing, you see like his little hat hopping. Because from what I remember of Camp Coral SpongeBob's design, this is supposed to be the bottom of the hat, or the part that goes against his head. So it's obviously like doing a flip or something as he's wave dashing, which definitely indicates like a higher level of animation quality and stuff this time around, which is always going to be nice. I don't know, it just begs the question on like, if this is his own character, then fine. But if it's an alt, then it means that alts get to have like their own unique properties for moves and stuff, which is cool. So not really much else to gauge from here, besides the fact that obviously it falls in line with every other prior leak we've seen, especially with like the purplish, bluish squared room. Yeah, I mean, it all looks very similar and accurate from the same source, all that good stuff. But back to this. Yeah, there's not a lot that can be inferred here, honestly. Like, it's silhouettes. I mean, I don't know what else there really is to analyze. It's just big blobs. We get two that are kind of in the shape of something. But, I guess one thing I'll note that I've seen some people discuss is that some people, when they look at this, they're like, oh, there's a character in each of these little sections. And I want to clarify that that's definitely not the case. For example, we have SpongeBob here clearly taking up 2 spaces and even reaching into other ones. We also see some kind of coloring here. I can't quite tell what that would match. Some people are saying that's Vlad in the top middle, perhaps to indicate that he's like the big bad of the game for a story mode or something, but I don't know. It seems weird that Vlad, of all characters, would get top billing over SpongeBob. Unless, I don't know. I do always assume Danny Phantom is less popular than it actually is, so I don't know. Maybe that is him. But yeah, the main point I was getting at is that clearly characters take up more than 1 space here. You can see Garfield doing it as well here with his tail. Danny's taking up 1 space, but he's reaching into other spaces. Jenny, again, 1 space, but reaching into other ones. Patrick seems to be the only one that's not reaching into other ones, but that's also because part of his hand is obscured. Raphael is clearly taking up 2 spaces, however. You see him fully in this one, but then his shell is in most, if not all, of this one. Which definitely gives me some theories on these silhouettes that I assume were put in by the leaker, rather than actually being there, because they look a bit too edited in. The main thing I want to get at, though, is that I think these 3 in particular might be fabricated to some extent, or at least not actually there. Like, this one in particular, this is way too small. There's just absolutely no way a character is actually fitting here. The only, and I mean the only character I could see fitting here properly is Plankton. And even then, that doesn't really feel right. Especially since in the prior box art, this one, we see Squidward down here. And currently, I'm going on the theory that this is an older mock-up of what they wanted the final box art to be. So, like, an older version of it. And then this is a more finalized version. But the thing to note with that is every character we see in this one was also in the previous one, besides Jimmy and Squidward. So I can only assume that those 2 are still here. And as a result of that, I have a hard time believing that they would put 4 SpongeBob characters on the box art on top of that. So my best guess is that Cora is just taking up both of these spaces here, especially since we can't really see where she ends. It's very possible she's just taking up the rest of the space, and the leaker might just be messing with us a bit on some of these silhouettes. That's where I get into this one and this one. Yeah. These 2 look way too specific, I guess I want to say. Like, we have this one here, which is super vague. We have this one, which is super vague. We have this here, which is super vague and presumably different character than whoever this is. But then these 2 are, like, super specific silhouettes, and this one just reasonably can't fit any character here. It makes me think that this one isn't housing any character, and that these 2 are definitely, like, faking silhouettes a bit. Because this one in particular, I mean, come on, that's way too specific of a silhouette. Now, obviously, who does it look like? Otis, without a doubt. Like, that looks like Otis, but I don't necessarily buy that that's actually who is here. It just seems kind of odd. Especially with Kevin here covering it, it makes me think they're covering a part that implies it's not Otis. Same for here, though honestly, I can't really tell who this would be. I've seen some people say Chum Chum, which size-wise and fist-wise and stuff does kind of fit. I've seen people say Jimmy Neutron. I've seen people say Quail Man. I don't know if it matters much, honestly, because I don't really think there's a character here. Especially since with SpongeBob and Garfield being at the top and presumably the big bad of the story mode being in the middle, it'd be kind of weird if they just tossed another character up here anyways, you know? It makes me wonder if maybe whoever this is either just fabricated or is a part of this middle character here. Since otherwise you kind of just have a character crammed in at the top here, which design-wise looks odd. I mean, design-wise this cover's already a little odd, but this especially is odd. What else is there to know? Oh yeah, so the other thing to know about this box art, from what I can tell, is that Obviously, there's not really anything to infer from this. Nothing that can really be inferred from this besides the different coloring, which implies some different level of importance. We already talked about these three, so that leaves this one, which is interesting because there's actually a spot that the leaker forgot to blur, which is kind of a tannish, yellowish, angular type shape. It's definitely got some type of curve to it. Granted, it's still impossible to tell who it is, but also the level, like, the silhouette here is very big. Like, compared to other characters here, this one feels like especially large. And whoever this character is definitely taking up like 2 spaces. Because again, there's no way one character is fitting here. So I can only assume that this is 2 spaces. So there's a couple theories. One I guess I'll throw out for now that I'm just now thinking of is that this is maybe Squidward's shirt and it's just colored a bit weird. I suppose that's possible. Let me get a closer pick. That could be Squidward, honestly. The other theories that people have had is that this is Norbert because his hair kind of matches the fur, and that would explain the bigger size because it's Daggett and Norbert here. Another theory is Bessie. The color is not quite a match, but she does kind of have like a little skirt that's sort of similar colorish that could also just be her like going outward like this. But the most convincing theory I've seen, and this was brought up today, was that this is actually Auto Rocket. And it kind of fits with how the head is shaped. The sleeve is very close color match. Here's a bit more of a side-by-side comparison. We even had someone earlier in the Discord server do a bit more of a mock-up, and I could definitely see this being Auto Rocket. Granted, I don't think it's a guarantee. Like I said, this could also be Squidward. I think this head shape does also fit Squidward to some degree. I just don't entirely know why so much of it would be shaded. And this would be a good explanation because he's got, a giant helmet, a skateboard, and character design, all that stuff. Plus, it wouldn't be the first time Rocket Power has appeared on a box art. And as I've said in, I think I previously brought it up when I talked about this box art, is that there's a noticeable lack of 90s characters here. Sure, the SpongeBob gang are 90s characters, but there's no, like, other 90s characters. Everyone else here is, like, 2000s or later, or acquired by Nickelodeon in the 2000s or later, which makes me think that we are not seeing some 90s characters in this box art. And so, because of that, that's why I lean closer to Angry Beavers or Rocket Power. But in this specific case, I think Auto Rocket is probably the best guess here. So, I don't have much to say otherwise about this box art. Like I said, this is very hard to discern anything from. I'm not really sure what else can be gained by looking at this. I did want to bring up one other thing today, though, which was about these private videos in Game Mill's trailer playlist. So these were added, about a week and a half, couple weeks ago at this point, I want to say. They just, out of the blue, added 2 unavailable videos. There was an instance where they added 2 more on top of that, but those were quickly unprivated. As it turns out, those were actually Cobra Kai trailers that accidentally got privated, and they were pretty immediately reversed. But yeah, for a while, we've had 2 trailers or videos in the trailers playlist that have been unavailable to view, private, you cannot see what they are. However, someone in the Discord discovered this recently. So, some people who are familiar with YouTube may know if you go to a playlist and there's unavailable videos or private videos in it, you can click the dots and click Show Unavailable Videos. This will have these videos pop up. Obviously, they can't be watched, but you can click them and get the links to the video itself. So, in this case, we've got this one here. It looks like it accidentally played the other one. Okay, the point I'm getting at, though, is doing that leads to 2 different links. And when you cut off... so when you click on these videos, obviously there's links on YouTube. This is at least how it worked on mobile for me. I don't know if this is exactly how it works on PC or not. But in the link, there will be a part that says and sign and then list. So, like, it'd look like and list. That's what it'd look like. If you go to that part of the link, remove that and everything after it, and then Google search what you have in that link. Not like in this bar on Google, like the middle bar. You get two different results on these videos. The first one you get is on the one that ends in TUK. You will not find any matches. It doesn't show up no matter how hard you look. However, if you look up the other one, you will actually find a couple of articles talking about the Skull Island video game that was recently revealed by Game Mill. And as you can see, the link that I sent here matches the one here. I'm guessing what happened is somehow a couple of these articles were able to get the link to the private video trailer version of the Kong trailer. So, the main takeaway from this is that this video, I think it was this one that didn't end in TUK. This one is the Kong trailer, and for whatever reason is still a private video. We know that now thanks to clever findings from the Discord. This one, however, still remains unknown. There's still two options. Game Mill has a NASCAR game that they're releasing this year that they still haven't released a proper trailer for on their YouTube channel. It's possible that's the video, but the alternative is that, you know, it's a trailer for Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. We know that Kong is releasing fall 2023, so maybe the reason why this places before Kong in the timeline of the trailers potentially could be because it's releasing first. Maybe. Not a guarantee by any means, or maybe they just made the trailer first but weren't ready to reveal it. Who knows? Point is, this is definitely something we haven't seen yet, while this one is the Kong trailer. We know that for certainty now. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to give your speculation and ideas and comments down below. Like and subscribe for more content like this. I will be sure to keep you guys updated on anything coming soon. I am positive a reveal is very, very imminent at this point. I'm like 99.5 or 0.9% positive Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 is releasing this year. And the closer and closer we get to the end of the year, the closer and closer we get to an actual trailer. So that, combined with this, makes me think a trailer is probably not far out at all. Could be this week, could be today after I upload this video, who knows. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to tune in. I will try to keep you guys posted. And until the next video, peace.